Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football. I'm Mark Goldbridge and this is your latest football transfer news, and a new week means new stories and new bids. Is it going to finally be the week where Arsenal sign the player that probably will be the most symbolic player of this summer transfer window, the striker? We've got two updates on Arsenal. Also not necessarily a good start for Chelsea this transfer week. They're keeping Nicholas Jackson by the sounds of it and might be about to miss out on another target, which might lead them to Garnacho of Manchester United, actually. We'll talk about that. And a new club enters the transfer fray, with Newcastle set to sign a new goalkeeper in James Trafford, as per Fabrizio Romano. And is it not disappointing when teams get promoted and then sell their best players? It just seems to happen all the time. Burnley get promoted and they're going to lose their goalkeeper. How does that work? How does that help your chances of staying up? No wonder we have this yo-yo effect. Anyway, let's start off this week with Arsenal and two significant reports to digest. First of all, in Portugal, coming in from Portugal CNN and others, that Arsenal are preparing their first bid for Victor Gyokeres. This is hot on the heels of a story coming out of the Mirror in the UK that Arsenal could back out of a £70 million transfer for Benjamin Sesko because of the Slovenian international's wage demands. Gyokeres is the backup plan. So look, it's been sort of a balancing act for Arsenal, and many Arsenal fans have been having this debate for what seems like weeks. Do you go Gyokeres? Do you go Sesko? The belief has always been that for over a year now, Mikel Arteta has wanted Sesko, but obviously a new director of football in Berta came in just after the January transfer window, and he will want to make his own statement as well. What's right for Arsenal, Gyokeres or Sesko, is very much open for debate. Let me know your comments in below. There's pros and cons of both. I think that, as I've said many times, you should give Arteta what he wants, but financially, it could well be that Gyokeres is the cheaper deal. But remember, if you were Chelsea, you'd go for Sesko because Sesko's under 23 and you've got that longevity and value. If you pay £70 million for somebody in their early 20s, but you pay £60 million for somebody who's 27, there is more market value and efficiency in going for the younger player. But really, when you're Arsenal and you're trying to win the league this season, you go for the player that's going to make the biggest instant impact. And I believe if Gyokeres can replicate anywhere near his form in Portugal in the Champions League, then the chances of him hitting the ground running are very, very big. Having said that, Sesko has scored goals where he's been. And Leipzig didn't have a great season last year, but he did score goals. And who is more suitable to an Arteta system? Does an out-and-out striker suit an Arteta system, or do you need to be more intricate and technical, in which case, even though he's tall, maybe Sesko suits better? So it's going to be very interesting to see, because some Portuguese reports are actually saying that Arsenal are going to go in with a second bid for Gyokeres. They've never had a first bid. And that sort of evidences the quality of Portuguese reports. I mean, as a Man United fan, I remember we were signing Gayton, the Argentinian, a few years ago, every week for about 3 years. We never, ever, ever put a bid in. So they can sort of run wild with theories. And a second bid for Gyokeres is amazing when you skip the first bid. But they are saying over there that a bid is imminent from Arsenal for Gyokeres. And it feels like there is some truth in Arsenal finally making a decision on which way they're going to go. Pre-season isn't that far away, and Arteta needs this player implemented from day one in the biggest of seasons for Arsenal, when Liverpool are doing what they've been doing over the last few days, which is nothing short of fantastic. So let's wait and see. Give your comments on that. Do you think it's time Arsenal are going to go for Gyokeres? Talking about Chelsea on strikers, you might not be happy about this, but as far as Chelsea are concerned, Nicholas Jackson is not for sale despite interest from Saudi Arabia and Europe, and this is coming in from Sky Sports. Don't know what you think about that, Chelsea fans. Looking at it, Delap and Jackson, I don't think they're going to be enough for you to really compete at the highest level in the Premier League next season. And I sort of look at the Chelsea project and go, you're back in the Champions League. What's next season all about? There seems to be an aggression and ambition from Todd Boehly and co to get Chelsea back at the top table, but I don't think without a goalkeeper, I'm just going to say it, Where's your top-class goalkeeper? Where's your top-class striker? It always feels like it's a work in progress, and that work in progress is not going to match up to the likes of Man City, Arsenal, and Liverpool. So I just think that, yeah, Liam Delap's an interesting young striker, but the opportunity to remove Nicholas Jackson and bring a top striker in looks like it's going to get refused again. Also, they had that opportunity with Mike Maignan. That deal is not back on with AC Milan. Fabrizio Romano confirming that last night. And further potential bad news, in Germany, they're reporting that Bayern Munich have entered the race for Chelsea target Jamie Gittens of Dortmund, another young player, 20 years of age, and they're willing to offer up to £55 million for the winger. Now, we believe that Chelsea are very close to that deal and that Gittens wants to come to Chelsea. But it's another young player. It's another wide player. Obviously, they didn't get Sancho. So, I mean, look, that could be another setback for Chelsea. But I just feel like they're focusing in on the wrong areas. Goalkeeper and a striker of experience and quality take Chelsea to the next level. Another young winger, I don't know whether it does. And they seem to spend a lot of money on the same sort of areas, in my opinion. So, yeah, Chelsea also out in the Club World Cup at the moment. Out of sight, out of mind, but they are still very active in the transfer window. I've got to say, in relation to the Club World Cup, by the way, I'm sort of checked out. Not even controversially. I've checked out over this weekend. On a weekend where you thought, there might be time where I might watch some of it, I've literally just checked out. And I was looking at the fixtures this week and I was like, maybe Juventus Man City on Thursday night at 8 o'clock, I might watch that. But then again, if it's the third game and they're both already through, probably not, which takes you to next weekend and the knockout stage and maybe start taking a notice there. But the weirdest of tournaments ever, that zero interest in the group stage and maybe get interested in the knockout stage. It's weird. That's not how a tournament should be. Anyway, back to transfers. Interesting story coming in from Fabrizio Romano that Newcastle opening talks with James Trafford of Burnley, the goalkeeper, looking to get that deal done. Newcastle have had a couple of setbacks so far in the summer transfer window. Obviously, they were looking at Pedro. He could be another target for Chelsea, as we mentioned last week. And Burmo looking like he's heading to Manchester United. So Newcastle do need to kick on. They fantastically got into the Champions League, but they won't want a repeat of a couple of years ago where it was a short-lived party and then they suffered in the Premier League. So they need to add better players. Interesting that they're upgrading in the goalkeeping area. Nick Pope has had a couple of injuries, though, so it's probably an intelligent move. So James Trafford, Newcastle, looks like a good signing, very much a Newcastle sort of signing, really. But again, I would say what I said at the start of the video. How many times do we see teams get promoted from the Championship into the Premier League? It's mission impossible, and then they go and sell one of their best players. Bellingham's already left Sunderland. Trafford's on the way out of Burnley. We've seen it in previous years. It's virtually impossible to stay in the Premier League, and then teams are selling their better players. It's something that's always happened, and I just find it really weird. Really, really weird. It's almost like the players that get promoted go, yeah, I'm not even going to waste a year trying to stay up. It's a waste of time. Get me out of here. I'm a Premier League player now. Get me out of here. So yeah, just a weird one again. And I've got absolutely no faith in Burnley or Sunderland staying up. Leeds could be an unknown quantity, but yeah, it seems to happen again and again and again. Thanks everyone for watching. Make sure you smash a like and subscribe. I'll ask another favour. My Goldbridge Hot Takes account on Instagram has got a new upload this morning. It's Dembele versus Salah, a classic either or with a twist. Check it out. Links in the video description or at the top. And please do give that page a follow. And you know what? Subscribe and smash a like here and leave us your comments as usual. Take care, everyone. Speak to you on the next one.